Greetings, queens and kings. If you stopping by, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any new content when it drops. I appreciate you coming over. Dialogue. Let's get into the comments. Let me know how you feel about this episode. We are getting into Ready to Love Miami episode season. What's it, 7 already? Oh, we getting up there. Congrats to Tommy Miles on hosting. Great accomplishment. I love the show. So we're gonna get into now our brothers and sisters down there in Miami for episode 2. So yeah, let's get in here and let me know how you feel. Comment on anything that I said and give me some feedback, okay? Because this is a pretty interesting episode, and I think it's gonna be a really good season. Let's give it a chance. It's gonna be some drama, but I'm pretty much liking this group right here. Still trying to fill some of them out, but I like them. Now, when we get started, we get in there with the men and the women, getting acclimated with one another. You have some that's vibing pretty good, and some not so good, but they chatting it up. And then we get to our girl. I ain't gonna say I was crazy about all of them. I'm gonna take that back, because some I'm still trying to figure out a little bit, not so sure about them. But one that I am not crazy about is our girl Reese, aka Charisse. She's trying to make up for being in the bottom with Dominica last week. So here she goes, trying to make her rounds with the fellas, but it's not that organic to me. Put in the comments, how do you feel about Charisse? How do you think, she's gonna make it all the way to the end? You think she's authentic and really ready to love? It's almost like an interview with these men. She was just, trying to make her way around. She was pretty rude and snippy, if you ask me, when it comes to the other women that were having conversations. She's not that pleasant, and she comes off very abrasive, if that's the word. Not too warm and inviting. So I don't really see a lot of the men hitting it off with her, but who knows? There's someone for everybody. So she may soften up a little bit and become a little more warm and receptive, but I don't see that right now. So we hope the system maybe changes and softens up a little bit more along the way. But she's having her little conversations, and I don't really see any of the men really connecting with her because of how her approach is. She has to make this more comfortable and relaxing to be able to get the dialogue that she may be looking for from these men. So I don't really see that. It's like an assembly line that she was doing, and it really, I don't know. I think she's starting to rub some of the women the wrong way too. So I mean, like I said, she reminds me a little bit of Evelyn Lozado when she first came on Basketball Wives, and that whole personality, she gave me that vibe. Somebody else said she reminded her of Giselle from one of the other reality shows, but that's how she's coming off with her personality. She was very rude yet again when it came to Dominica, and she made like, she's doing it for her best interest to tell her she's a little loud, and her volume and her delivery. But Dominica says she didn't really realize that. And I like Dominica as far as her personality is concerned. I can understand, there are times I was told that, I was loud as well. Sometimes we don't realize that. A lot of the women in my family, tend to be like that. So sometimes we don't realize it. We don't mean any harm. Don't chalk it to our not having any class, or not, sometimes we're very passionate and we just get a little excited, and our voices carry. It's just how our voices are. And I think if we're a little bit more mindful of our delivery, I think that we can tone that down. I've learned, to be a little bit more mindful the older I get. Sometimes when I get extra excited or something, or real passionate about a topic, I can see, my voice getting louder or starting to escalate a little bit more. But I think it's a thing of just being more mindful of it. But yeah, I know how to, pretty much kind of control that in certain situations, and maybe Dominica hasn't exercised that yet, or someone hasn't brought that to her attention. But I think if Charisse did that in a more tactful manner, the approach would have been a little bit better. There was Mike was there, so when she said that, I'm like, don't embarrass the sister in front of the brother. But he made a comment before about liking his women seen but not heard as much, something to that effect. But he kind of agreed with Dominica when she said that, so it was a little awkward, him being in the middle of that, and I just didn't like the fact that could have embarrassed Dominica. So anyway, bottom line, I think Dominica came off more as a buddy to the guys. Even if she's a little loud or whatever, or may come off in that manner, I think they see it more as a buddy. And when you get together, because I've had guy friends in the past when I was younger, and we hang together and shoot the breeze, and everybody's laughing and getting loud or whatever, having a good time. And I think that's how they see her. They haven't really seen, I guess, that softer, more quiet, feminine side, but that's just her personality. And like she said, somebody will appreciate her and all of her, in the future. And because I think, at the end of the day, she's a beautiful person and she does deserve love. But yes, I say that to say our sister was sent home. So, unfortunately, her journey stopped. And, I wish her all the best. Now we have our girl, Charisse, with the ladies. And, she's getting into a conversation about speaking, about catering to a man, because they had that comment. What's the brother's name? I forgot his name. Randall. And Kayla was saying, she's a man's helpmeet and she doesn't mind catering. Now it depends on how you look at that, because I know that can sound like the Stone Ages, especially to Gen Zs and millennials. You may have those that respect that and understand it's not about being, so submissive to your man, which, many feel. If, I don't mind submitting to a man. Number one, if he submits to God first, he's the head, of the household. And, he's giving me that strength and that security and leading me with love. And, and I can see that he's a man, God-fearing man. You don't mind a man leading like that and submitting to not so much, following behind a man, so to speak, but you respect what he's bringing as a leader to your household. But both of you, respect one another and what you have to bring to a relationship. So I'm not talking from a way that's, old-fashioned, to the respect that a woman's, opinion and worth is not valued. She's just as important to what she gives to that household as that man. So please don't get it twisted and come for me in the comments. That's not what I'm saying. But you are helping me, because when it comes to women in all societies, if you really look at it, a nation can rise no higher than its woman. So when you elevate a woman, you really, we bring forth birth to a nation, birth to all creation. Without God and us as that vessel, we wouldn't have people on this planet. So we have a serious value when it comes to women and what we can bring to that man to help elevate them. Let's think about it. How many times have we been with men and they're very comfortable? They very, I remember when I was young and I had boyfriends, they was living like in a room with like a crate and not even a bed that was fixed up. I mean, they very minimal, until that woman came in their lives and basically enhanced it and showed them, a better way. Just, what can you do to each other to bring out the best in one another? And that's what a woman does as a helpmeet. She helps to help give that perspective, that female perspective and insight that many men don't see, that intuition that God inputted in us to have us see things that they don't, to help us in this journey called life and to help bring us closer to him. I don't want to get in this whole big spiritual realm, which I could, because it's a very, very deep topic that we could get into. But I think Sharice is seeing this as, men maybe being less than her, or who is he for me to, see him as a king, or catering to him in any way. I'm the, when you are, and you are the prize. We as women are the prize. We are the queens, and we should be catered to. But there's nothing wrong with making your man feel like a man, especially black men in this society that's beaten down, to come home and get that kind of beautiful treatment from your queen is something that they would look forward to at the end of the day, just like you would like to have your foot rubbed and your back rubbed and treated, in that same beautiful, good, divine manner. So it's a give and take when it comes to relationships. And don't think you so above that. And I think that's what some of the women was trying to say. And even Shakira agreed with that, there's nothing wrong with catering to your man when it's your man. Now, these men, I don't blame Sharice, because he's not your man, right? That's not your man right now. So I don't know if she means overall that's something she wouldn't do even in a relationship, or she's just talking about these men right here, because I don't blame her. These men right here do not belong to any of these women right now. None of them. So that was that. But the way the women were conversating with her, I don't think she was feeling it, because they really wasn't siding with what she was saying. So, she was feeling some kind of way on that. Now, they're going out for a date, and Jamala has a one-on-one with Swayze. And Swayze was telling her basically how he, he's not always about playing. He explained to her his work, like we said last week, and he takes that very serious. And he's always had a girlfriend, always been in a relationship, except for the past 3 years. And he spoke on how he's been single now, and he's really ready, for love. He's looking for that, because everybody sees Swayze as the funny, comical guy, but I can understand having that downtime and not, having something so serious outside of work. Yeah, so that's basically how that conversation went. And then you have Shakira and Samson. Now, let me know so far which one of your ladies, or two, is your favorite so far, and which one of the gentlemen do you like so far. I think so far, I really like Mike. There's some things I'm seeing that I think internally he's still dealing with, that I hope he's over and really ready for love, but I get into that a little later. But as a man, someone who's been married, who has children, who really knows the dynamics of a relationship, and a foundation. He's been married before. I think that's a good thing, because he's a grown man, who's ready to really be serious about a relationship, because he's been in the past. And then I like LJ, and I think Samson is a good brother. So far, those three are pretty good so far, what I see with them, as far as for me, personality wise. And then you have some of them, they still too young for me, but I mean, and I like Alfonso. Thinks he's cool. Not getting anything, too negative from each of these brothers, except what I said last week when it comes to Samson, about he don't approach women unless they approach him first. I don't know what that's about. I wish you would expand on that a little bit more, because I wasn't liking that. It gave me a narcissistic feel, ego feel, like he was too good for that. So I don't know. But the conversations he's had with the women, I like how he's, he speaks to them. It's very natural. I think he's very considerate. And, as a person, so far, I like how he's gelling with the women, Looney, and with Shakira this week. And then as far as the women, I like Shakira. I think Brandy is really sweet, the flight attendant who likes Mike. Those so far are my two. And April's pretty cool. I don't see anything with her right now. So April, Shakira, and Brandy. So I think those are three women that I'm feeling so far. So now Shakira's having a some time with Samson, and he gave her a plant because he knows she's into more earth and natural, I guess, holistic things. She's oh, and I like, what's the sister, what's her name, Tamika. She has a beautiful spirit as well. I think it's Tamika, something like that. I know it's a T. beautiful sister. She's the one that likes Randall. I like her. I like her and her spirit. So yeah, they're having a talk, and she talked about her son. She talks about how he's an extension of yourself. And I guess when you're looking for love and you're in a relationship, there's really no, or you're looking to develop a relationship, there's really no need to hide the fact of your children. They need to know straight up, are you ready? Don't even get into anything with me unless you're prepared or you can accept my child along with me. So she mentioned that. And he spoke on her being from a military family. And I guess he mentioned that to her earlier. And you know how they can have a regimen and be really stringent. And she said, yeah, but I have conversations and I talk with my son. I don't know exactly. I can't remember. She mentioned how old her son. I'm thinking he's pretty young. But I guess that's something in her household. They didn't have those conversations that she has with her son. So that's when she mentioned she talks to him. So she really loved the pace that Samson was having with her and how organic the conversation was. And he was getting her all warm and fuzzy. So I don't want her to jump the gun too fast with him. I want her to take a good pace and keep it that way and see where he goes on it. So I'm going to see who, because I know the first episode he was getting with Looney. Looney's out sick. And she'll be back next week. So I'm gonna see if he's gonna try to continue to get to know her too, or is he gonna try to get to know Shakira a little bit more. So that really went well as far as that date. So now we go to Shanice in this Taco Tuesday. I don't know. I have not seen in the past seasons where anyone really entertained at their home. I don't know. This is a first for me. So I don't know if this is something she wanted to do, if production wanted to try something new. I know good and well owned. You ain't telling me you don't have a budget to have a nice dinner somewhere at a Taco Tuesday at some Mexican restaurant, but maybe, you know, put a spin on it, because, you know, to have all these people that you really don't know in your home, they know, you know, how you living or whatever, the whole cast. Or I don't know if she handpicked certain ones to come, but I think it's basically was everyone there. And to be in your house, I don't know how I will feel about that, but she liked entertaining. Now, when Tanika, that's her name, Trinika came in with Randall, but LJ also catches her attention, so she's feeling Randall and LJ when he came to the house. So there was a nice conversation. And then Cherie said something sideways about Randall being a king. Oh, you think you a king over here? Now she tried to backslide on her words later that she didn't say that, and Randall was like, yes you did. So she coming all sideways, because you know that whole catering thing that she said earlier, but now she's trying to act like she all cool with the whole thing. So that was that. So now Devin comes in. And he's empty-handed, ain't bringing her bottle of no wine, no some punch, or you know, pick up a fruit platter or something. And I don't think it was so much her wanting people to bring something. I'm sure maybe some of them did. She really didn't get on them as much. But when you're interested in a certain individual, that one that you're interested in, you will hope they would have enough etiquette, manners, hospitality to consider you. So I think that's why she took it a little more personal from Devin coming in empty-handed, because this is somebody she was interested in. So he came in, but Devin is giving me that really spoiled vibe. He's giving me that either I just don't know how to do these things. You know, he's nervous and sweating and carrying on. I know good and well it can't be about that Miami heat he's not used to, unless he not too long moved to Miami from wherever. Then you have I'm sure she has some central air. All of these, you know, modern apartments or homes usually have central air. So I'm sure it was nice and cool in there. So I don't know why he was sweating. I'm sure it ain't had nothing to do with the heat. It had to do with his nerves. Now, why are you so scared and nervous as old as you are? You play professional football. You got a baby out there. Some one night stand. You know, you lived a little. You nervous with women. He said he doesn't even like being around too close to people. I don't know. Devin's nice looking, but he's a little strange. And there's some things about him I can't put my finger on. He really doesn't, I don't think, knows how to do much. And if he's looking for love, he's looking for somebody, probably a woman, to help do things for him, because he evidently doesn't even know that it's proper etiquette to bring something to a function when you're invited, as a courtesy. So yeah, he was the only one, I think, Sharice, that was interested in him, and now he messed that up. So what vibes are you getting from Devin? What do you think from him? Put it in the comments. I want to get your feedback on him or any of the couples so far. But I don't know. Devin's rubbing me in a really strange way. There's something about him I can't put my finger on, as far as him getting in touch with things within himself. So, and we'll hit on that note a little bit later. But now, Kayla has a bowling event. So she wanted to bring out Swayze that she likes. She likes Alfonso, aka Zoe. And who else did she invite? Mike, Big Mike. And along with Shakira and Jamala. Now they having a good time chatting, and she has a conversation with Mike, and Mike made a comment to her that she really didn't appreciate, and that's the fact that she mentioned she was 21, and how she wanted 2 boys, and he's looking like, you only 21? You only 30? He thought that was too young. And she got offended by that, because she was like, I think I'm very mature for my age, which I would have thought that Kayla was older. Be honest with you, pushing, closer to 40 than 30. That's just me. I don't know. Anybody else thinking that? She just seems older. So she does, I guess when you lived a little, you mature, you've been through some things, it makes you appear older. So yeah, she wasn't feeling that. So then, she started chatting with her boy Swayze, which she liked, and they had a nice discussion on former relationships. And he said that, he's been in a relationship before, 3 years. He thought she was serious. They even bought a home together. Now, unless you're married to that person, in my opinion, don't be buying no house with nobody. She ended up cheating on him, and so that didn't work out. So then you're going to have all these legalities now to deal with the house because of that. That's why, unless you really vested and you're serious and you married, then you get a home together. All this, oh, we cute. I thought you was, I'm head over heels. I thought you was serious and buying a house. So I think that was a bad move. But she cheated on him, and that was that. So, Kayla started talking about her, and he was like, what's the deal with you? I forgot. She said something, how that conversation came up. And she said, yeah, I had, a ring before, twice, as a matter of fact, that she was engaged. One, didn't want children. She thought she can deal with that. That's like a no-brainer. When it comes to children, that's a very serious topic. If they not saying it, they don't want it, it's hard really to break that or sacrifice what you want for the need to be a mother. That's not something you can really negotiate on. So don't compromise that. So she couldn't, and so she had to move on. The other one just basically looked like he just wasted her time. She said he was feeling, how she put it, stringing her along with false dreams. So why get engaged if he was stringing you along? If he was BSing you, you didn't see this before the engagement. You totally ignore red flags like that before the engagement. We have to stop doing this. And I think a lot of time women do this because we want to be in a relationship so bad. We want to be loved so bad that we let a lot of things go. I know personally about ignoring red flags that I shouldn't have in the past that caused problems. Even though blessings came out of that, I'm divorced today, but there's some red flags that you really should not ignore. Yeah, so that was that. And then she had a little competition going with Zoe and Swayze, and she said whoever the winner is going to get a little special gift. When they came to bowling, Swayze wound up losing. He had to do some push-ups or whatever. He said, I'll do 50 push-ups. He was like, I could see why Fonzo would need it, because this is why he won, because bowling is an old person sport. I'm like, watch it. First of all, Fonzo's not that old. What is he in his mid-40s or whatever? He's not that old, so watch it, youngin. Swayze 33 or whatever. Bowling is for all ages. A lot of young people like bowling, so I don't know what you mean by that comment. But anyway, the prize was her. She gave him a little kiss, nothing too deep, gave him a little peck, and even Swayze was like throwing shade, talking about he needed that kiss. He needed that kiss more than me or whatever, some slick stuff. So also Shakira, she kind of surprised me when she was engaging with Zoe as well. And you know, he was getting a little affectionate, and he was supposed to be teaching her how to bowl, and I think she was faking it because she said some kind of little comment about maybe I was faking it so you could teach me or whatever, getting up close. I didn't think she would really be into that at first. But she was a little touchy feely with him, all rubbing up on her from the back, trying to show her how to bowl. And I'm like, she was like, I liked it. I was like, okay, let me see if you got a little frisky side. Let me find out, Shakira. So, she's cute. I really like her. So that's how that went with them. So they had a nice little time. Now, the ladies meet with Tommy. So Tommy's asking them questions. He was like, I heard somebody was kissing or whatever. And I think Jamila was like, do tell. And raise your hand. And then Kayla raised her hand. And Tommy said, well, who was the fella? And she said, Zoe, you know, just a little peck or whatever. So that was that. So then he wanted, of course, Tommy wants to know who's at the top of these women's list. Now, Jamala said Randy and Swayze, which she likes. Trinika, she likes Randall. She said he's spontaneous and he got like, I think geek kind of geeky like her, so she likes that about him. So I think they were really cute too. Katie, a Cadian, I call her Katie. She likes Swayze. She said he makes her laugh. They have good conversations when they talk. Of course, Brandy likes Big Mike. She's saying the whole look, tall, dark, handsome, bearded. You know, he has the right look. I understand. I feel the same way when it comes to Big Mike. But she feels, you know, there's a lot of things underneath that she has to peel back. So she's going to have to get a little work, I guess, to get him to where she needs to be, to open up a little bit more. And I think a lot of the women said that. Like, some of them felt that he wasn't opening enough. They think that he has too much baggage from the ex-wife, the 3 children. And some women just don't feel secure with the fact that a man, you know, loved his high school sweetheart, thinking he may still be stuck on her. Well, what happened at that went, and thinking that because he's a little slower to open up, that he's still stuck on her. That may very well be justifying them thinking that. But it's, you know, when someone's been settled and married for a long period of time, you know, to jump back out there like that, they're not really used to that. So he's probably going at a slower pace, but he is interested in some sisters, and Brandy is one of them. So it's not like he's not willing to go out there. He has to make this adjustment. So hopefully he is ready and still not stuck on doing this to get over the ex-wife. I don't recall if he said how long they've been divorced, but hopefully he doesn't have that problem still. Yeah, so Shakira, of course, she likes Samson. This is where she got a little emotional. She said he, you know, he makes her feel being a single mom is an asset, because that means a lot to her. You know, she got a little emotional talking about it because she said that her and her son been through a lot, and she hates that he's seen a lot. And I'm thinking what he experienced and what she experienced was probably abuse. Physical abuse, verbal abuse. That's why sometimes I think her body language, you know, with men is maybe not so much direct or looking into the eyes. She seemed, you know, come off a little shy. That's why I was surprised when she, you know, was getting cozy with Zoe bowling, because I think she went through a lot of painful stuff. You can tell her crying. She hated that her son had to experience certain things. She didn't say. Maybe she'll open up as to what she went through with whoever she gets, you know, close to more in this season. But I'm just starting to think that that may be what it is, why she's so protective over her son based on what he's been exposed to. And she said her son is everything, and if he don't, you know, like the person, and I guess it's over. And I'm thinking that he's younger, and of course we're a package deal, and you want, you know, your child to like who you're with. But sometimes that's a double-edged sword, because at the same time, you have young children who, they don't want mommy to be with anybody. You know, they want mommy to just be with them. So, you know, nobody may be good enough when they're younger. So, she still has to think about, you know, the person she's with, try to talk to that child and see, you know, they see the good qualities in them, or really get into what it is you don't like about him and really consider it, because he may just say no to everybody, even a really good man. You still have to think about you and what you want as a woman too, because even though you're a mother, and I understand that, you're still a woman and you still have your needs, and you have still have things that you want to see in a man. You just don't want him to see you as a mom and just lead just only with your son. You want him to know you and lead with yourself as well. Your son comes with you, but what about you? Your wants, your needs, and what type of man is good for you in your life, okay? Because a lot of times we lose ourselves in marriages and relationships that have been on for an extension period of time, and you're starting to rediscover yourself again when you're single. And I know that happened to me during my divorce. So you have to know what your needs are as well for your life as well as your child. So Shakira, you know, remember you too. And so yeah, so she really liked Samson. Now, who you not feeling? What Kayla said, Justice, she don't know if he's there for the right reasons. Justice is good looking, and he knows how to maneuver with the women. Now, last week he said something, little side stuff about he don't, you know, really, until he likes a person, he don't date them unless he really likes them, some stuff. I don't know what that's all about. You can't really get to know them unless you date them and go out, talk for a while. It doesn't have to spend a whole lot of money. Now, if you dating a whole lot of women, Justice, I could see why it could be expensive if you're taking all these women to dinner every week. But you can also take out to coffee. You don't have to take off for no big serious meal. You can still take them out to a nice movie. It doesn't have to cost you a whole lot of money if you're trying to be cheap with this. But I don't know really what you mean about I'm not, unless I really like somebody, I'm not going to date them. So you're just going to keep talking on the phone, just going to keep talking like a teenager. I don't texting. I don't know what's going to get you to know if you like them without doing some things, because you'll learn more when you're out, maybe doing more activities, not just talking on the phone. You know, you need certain situations to go to see how people handle things. So you may have to date a little bit, just. But anyway, we'll see how that go. But she ain't feeling him. Sharice said Devin, she invited him over for Taco Tuesdays. He ain't bring nothing. That like, bye. Okay. He was nervous and sweaty. Even some of the other girls. Shakira said if he that nervous, he shouldn't even be here, which is true. You sweating and nervous, you shouldn't be on the dating show, bro. So I think there's something a little more to that. April says Mike. She said, you know, it may not be popular opinion or whatever, but Mike is her type, but conversation, I guess at brunch just didn't roll with her. And you're not going to get along with everybody in the group out there. So you're going to have likes and dislikes. So she wasn't feeling Mike. Katie said he didn't want kids, so she ain't with him. That threw her off. Brandy was concerned about that because she does want children. So she said that's going to have to be a conversation with him, because Kayla said, he said that he was open to children. So he seemed to be telling women different stories. I don't know if he's telling those he don't like, I don't want kids. Those he may be interested in, I do want kids again. I don't know. But we know later on when they had a conversation, he asked how many kids she want, because he got 3. He said, well, I guess I'll have 5 if you want 2. So we'll see. But don't be switching up on the lingo. Just be you at all times. And if you don't like a certain person just because you saying, don't say you don't want children because you're not feeling them like that. You may want children. If it don't work out with her, just don't work out with them. So that's all to it. But keep the same story with everybody. Now, what's next? So yeah, then they have 2 women, Tommy's saying, have to take these 2 guys who are on the bottom out. One has to tell them they have to up their game, make some improvements. Another one, you have to tell them they're not ready to love. Well, Katie takes out Devin. Devin goes into the place, you know, a little awkward like he does. He said he doesn't like that whole close contact, people up on him type of thing. I don't know what that's about. I can understand with COVID and all this other stuff going on, monkeypox, all this other mess. You don't want people up on you now. I get it. In Florida, y'all know y'all was the rebellious ones when this whole COVID thing started. So I get it. But you still going to have to kind of get up close and personal enough and feel comfortable you know, you had a whole baby out there, so you did get close at some point. She asked him, well, how many numbers did you get, you know, to see has he really been interacting with these women. He was like, numbers, you mean from the guys or the girls? And Katie just like, she just too through with it. She's like, what the hell I'm gonna be asking you about guys for? I'm talking about the women. And this is where it gets weird. Like, what do you mean numbers from guys? I mean, is he nervous because he's still dealing with something with his sexuality, Devin? I don't know if that sweating and discomfort comes from that. I don't know if he's discovering that he may be interested in both. I don't know, but something's going on with Devin that gets all this nervy discomfort. And put it in the comments if anybody else is seeing that with him. I don't know, it may be a struggle within himself. He's just really not ready, and maybe that's why he wants nothing to do or fighting for this child, because he don't want to be involved with the child's mother and how that all went through. But he doesn't seem like somebody who's been in many relationships with women, because it makes him very hard and uncomfortable to be around them. So yeah, that's something with him. But anyway, Brandy went to talk to Mike, and you know, Mike felt like he was in heaven. He said, Mike said it's like heaven opened up the gates. I'm like, you better go ahead, Mike. So he is really feeling Brandy. He loves her energy, he loves her personality, and she talked to him about the children, and he doesn't seem to have a problem with it. And she said that, you know, you here because the women feel that you need to open up more. And he was like, shoo, sweating it, because I guess he realized, he said he's not one to really go out there and approach women like that. He said that early on. So he realized now he gonna have to not put all his eggs in one basket, you know, get to know some of the other women. But I know that Brandy's on the top of his list, and she needs to do the same thing. Get to mingle and know the others a little better too. Just don't focus on Mike, just in case you get hurt and he may start to wander and have more interest with someone else. But it's great to know you are building a connection with someone, but keep yourself open, because this is a process. So he really likes her vibe. You know, he seemed like he was a little hesitant at first when it came to the children thing, but he mentioned that, you know, they do that for drama effect. But yeah, so we know Devin went home. Katie told him, you know, you're not ready for love. And he really didn't seem to sweat it much. He really didn't seem to care, because I think he realized after a while being in that whole atmosphere was just a little too much for him. Go and deal with some things. Work on a situation with your son, Devin. Maybe seek a little therapy, because I think there's some deeper underlying issues you need to deal with. Because you sweating definitely has nothing to do with the heat or being too hot in Miami, okay? So we're gonna get back into this next week. Looks like it's getting better, getting juicy. I don't know if soon we'll be getting new people into the house, because you know, as we start losing them, we'll be getting some new ones back, and let's see how the ones now evolve and transpire with the beautiful sisters and brothers that we have already. So thank you. Until next week, remember, always be authentically you and live the life you deserve, because you're fabulous and amazing. Peace.